For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niazi bafowethu, ama coach for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiskiTV.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting, iDiskiTimes.co.za. That's Stellenbosch 1, Kaizer Chiefs 3 in the Nedbank Cup. Kaizer Chiefs move on to the next round of the Nedbank Cup. They might meet Pirates. They might also meet Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm actually jinxing Sundowns because they still have to play against Kokone. They were going to play tonight, but fortunately for us, we don't have to cover 3 matches in one day. That game was postponed because of a clash of stadiums. Very controversial decision by the officials in the Stellenbosch Kaizer Chiefs game. A goal was given, but it was not given initially. The linesman raised his flag, meaning that he saw something, and then there was a conversation between him and the referee, and then they ended up giving it to Kaizer Chiefs. You should have seen us here in studio seeing it. We hate seeing misjustice or injustice. A miscarriage of justice it makes our blood boil. You should have seen us in the final of the MTN 8 when that miscarriage of justice happened. But of course, everyone else, bettors and people following their clubs, one way or another, their point of view is based on whether or not their club benefited from something. So yeah, be that as it may, we talk about the game. Lindo Pep, what did you make of the game? What did you make of the incident first?
Mr. Nkiushapunjan.
Yes, sir.
Ngibulisi technical director. Nyazi, it's the second video. We
Yes,
don't want to
sir.
waste
Yes,
time.
sir. Yeah.
Ngibulisi uchunya no Bobzin.
We've been here.
No
We've been
TKG. Yeah. Mr. Nkeu, congratulations to Kaizer Chiefs and Coach Nabi for the result. Of course, at this inning, siphule, strip and
We give these matches more dignity than they deserve.
Yeah. No, to be honest with you, maybe let's start with the
Incident.
critical incident. The critical phase of the game happens obviously in the last minute. There's 2 things that you have to look at there, Nkulego. A very good cross, which is very brilliant from Kaizer Chiefs, but now
Was it
is
not
their
a
touch.
corner?
It's a corner kick.
Okay.
It's a brilliant cross closer to the box, which the goalkeeper must compete, maybe 50-50. But now Omatlo touches the goalkeeper. And any touch in the box, in the 6-yard box, when you touch a goalkeeper, it's a foul. But now the most questionable thing is referee. Another thing is that Usugumisa flag.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked. So, did you see the linesman raising the flag?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did immediately. I had to watch the situation more than 3 times to ensure that. I did see the flag raised, and actually the referee also gave it as a foul immediately.
Because he understood what the linesman was saying to him with the signal.
Yeah. And another thing maybe you might not have seen is that there's a possible handball, but it hits Upasadin at the top. But the hand is not stretched, which doesn't even make it a penalty. But also there's another question as well, Nkulego. Is Pulemodi onside? Is he onside? I don't know. That's why I'm saying I'm actually interested to have a Monday conversation or watch Prof. Victor Hlongwane discuss some of these things. Because to be honest with you, there's so many questionable things in that decision.
I think to simplify it, there is a touch on the keeper, which I don't think is sufficient anyways. But the important man who's thought is important in that game is the linesman.
It's the linesman.
He thinks
it's a foul.
It's a foul. Now, how that gets twisted into a goal is the reason why we're having this discussion.
Nkulego, I didn't know that we have VAR. I didn't know that the referees have to consult.
They can talk, they are allowed to talk to one another.
Yep.
That's the point of the mouthpiece. If the stadium is a buzz and you can't hear each other, they're allowed to talk it out. Because if there's any critical thing that happened there, they can persuade, not persuade per se, but the other one can say, this is what I saw, and then the other one could say, that didn't happen. You made a mistake. Because ultimately, the referee's decision is the final one. Sometimes the linesman could say, it's a throw-in on the other side. And the referee can overrule it because he was in a better position. So the problem is that the linesman, he raised his flag.
And I saw him, he believed it, Nkulego.
Yeah, he believed that was a foul.
Because he actually was feeling bad. I was looking at his face because I was focusing on his face when Uskumbuzo Gasa pointed to the center line. You could even tell from Uskumbuzo that he's not even sure himself. He's not even sure. That is a decision that I think if they were given an opportunity to talk and do a post-match interview, they were going to say it is a 50-50 and they are not sure. And they regret the decision that they made because they are probably leaving home not feeling good about themselves because I am sitting here not feeling good about that decision. I am actually feeling sorry for Stevie Parker, even though when we get into the game, I'll speak about the tactical approach where he got it wrong. But I feel sad for those Stellenbosch players because it's a deja vu of what happened in the MTN 8 final. Similar thing, even that goal in the MTN 8 came after they were uninterested in the game because they were very emotional. You could see them approaching the ref, trying to fight the ref. But in my opinion, a very incompetent decision. I think the linesman was correct. I think the referee was supposed Ilwanami. mangenza decision is serious kanje, tough kanje, stand with me as a
Yes,
referee.
yes.
Because
As a team, we have to stand together.
stand with me, because you are not even sure whether it's a post. It's a very difficult angle. We had to watch that clip more than 5 times, Nkuleko, to even come to the right decision. Even with SuperSport analysts, they had to watch it and pause it and stop it. You can imagine the ref was watching
Did
it
you
in
get
real
what
life.
they were saying? Like, did they ultimately say that they agree with the referee or not?
I didn't really get to hear,
Okay.
but at least I got the sense that I think they're agreeing with the linesman that it's a foul. It's a foul. It's a foul on the goalkeeper. It's not even an offside on Opulemura. I think it's a foul on the goalkeeper.
Yeah, okay, let's go to the game. Stevie Parker again. I did say to So when I was speaking to him yesterday that they're huffing and puffing. It seems like they're still finding this team. Langelihle Pili still a new player. Tato Keba, new player in that midfield. Kumane Butsaka, new player. In terms of new, is in that they're coming in this season. Cupido from Cape Town Spurs, new player. I do think that they're huffing and puffing. Yes, they get results sometimes. Sometimes they don't get it. They're not as convincing as when they had about Antonio van Veek, Jaden Adams, Dino van Rooyen. You know, they had a lot of good players that they've lost. What do you make of them, Mr. Stellenbosch? And do you genuinely believe, in as much as they might complain, and they should, do you believe that they deserved anything from this game?
To be honest with you, it was a 50-50 game. Both teams played bad. In the case of Stellenbosch, in my opinion, they were nowhere to be seen in the first half. I think they tried to initiate the game to Kaizer Chiefs. But for me, from a perspective of bringing new players, I think those players will struggle. Based on the system that Stellenbosch wants to use and how they want to approach games. You're looking at the players that they brought in, very good players. You're looking at the squad in terms of the profiling of the squad. I think it's a very good squad from a winger's perspective to the midfielders that they have, including the defense. In my opinion, when you're watching Stellenbosch, it's a very technical team. I think from a technical perspective, they can find each other. They're very technical. It's a team that you can watch in Little Lako. But I just think that it's also lack of trust from Stevie Parker. I think some of the players there, they've been working with them for a long period of time. So the players that they brought in are not from the development setup. So I think Stellenbosch is a very systematic team.
That's why Barnes is struggling to break in, because he didn't grow up as Stellenbosch.
Yeah, it's easy for players that come from Stellenbosch to fit in straight like a glove into that Stellenbosch team. So I think Abu Kiba, players like, maybe you can count a lot of players that they brought in. Barnes,
the
Ukaka.
idea of him playing on the left, whereas he's more of a midfielder and a central attacking midfielder.
Yeah. So you look at those dynamics from a technical perspective to a tactical perspective. I think they will eventually get it right. I just think the inconsistent performances are also putting Stevie Parker under pressure in terms of his decision making. Because you've got Langelihle Pili, who's an exciting winger. You've got one of the players that have been doing exceptionally well this season, which is Andre de Jong. You don't put those players on the bench. You've got Atenkosi Mkaba. I understand the critical phase of the game, the first penalty that happens in the game. I saw Umloisane getting.
I would not have trusted Toure with the rest of that game. I would have taken him out, because that was a deliberate hand. Whether he planned to do it in that moment or it just happened the spur of the moment, I would have taken him out.
Yeah, for me.
There's been too many moments in this league this season. It's ironic that it's called the Betway Premiership as well. This season with goalkeepers, especially. Let me not say this, but with goalkeepers and some of the players, it seems as though it's the thing is deliberate. The thing that they do is deliberate, where you like, what you did is the reason why the game was won and lost. And for me, it's very questionable. And I would not have trusted, given what I'm saying what I'm saying, if I was a coach, if a player of mine does that, I take them out. It's a pattern. It's happening now where a team wins. Doesn't matter whether it's Chiefs or Pirates or Sundowns. It's not a mistake, actually. It's a thing that is done by a player, where the reason why the other team won was because that player was on the opposition team and he made sure that that's going to happen.
Yeah, there's 2 mistakes in that goal. It's the right back from Nigeria, I've just forgot his name. He makes the mistake by losing the ball in a critical phase. Good counter press from Kaizer Chiefs, but they play a diagonal ball. There's Lilepo, it's a 2v1 situation. Why is Toure raising his hand? I think the answer you're getting it from is the face of Umloisane. What Umloisane said after they conceded that goal tells you everything what he thinks about those 2 players. He was so pissed off because they understand it's a critical phase of the game. It's the start of the game. Let's make sure that we consolidate, we don't concede. We understand that the Kaizer Chiefs is a team that also uses the hype offense. So they were understanding that they were playing against 12 men. So they had to be very solid in terms of how they defend. Umloisane played well at the back. You're looking at Pasadena as well. Even the goal Stellenbosch comes from him. It's his creativity. They get a corner. He brings in a cross, an unbelievable cross. De Jong wins that header. But in midfield, I think that's where they lost the game, in my opinion. Unduli was not initiating a play. Ukiba is the only one in the first 20 minutes of the game. It's just that it was not consistent throughout the game. But if you check out the chances that Ulu Kolwane was getting on the left-hand side, because he did get half chances on the left-hand side to Kaka, he's not a natural winger. He's not a natural winger. They should use him more as a number 10. Because
very quickly, what did you like and dislike about Chiefs?
To be honest with you, for me, Chiefs, it's about the performance. It's not about the result. But for me, in my opinion today, a very good performance from them. I think they can build on this. Upulo Modi is the only one who's letting them down from the left-hand side. You're looking at Ashley Trupi. He's the one. I think with Ashley Trupi, I believe with Junior right now. In any striker that Kaizer Chiefs has, I think they really have to invest in Ashley Trupi. He's a threat in running behind. I think he's improving his first touch. I think he's got the right desire to run a channel as well. You're looking at the fact that Gaston Serino, inconsistent, but I think it's very important for them. Today was playing more as a number 10. I think the creativity Ganabi and the thinking Ganabi was that no Gaston Serino, so that he can have two attacking players. He's always getting criticized for using too many defenders. Namhlanje usala ngoThabo Cele, who I feel for me, he's him. He is the player that Thabo Cele thinks he is. He is him. I think they got the right player at Kaizer Chiefs to sit Katimaliabo, initiative play. You're looking at Msimangwe as well. He's growing game by game. Less mistakes in his game because we are very harsh on him. You're looking at Igalo, good penalty finish as well. Utove looks very solid. I don't think he got a threat on the left-hand side. Looking at Uri Fosler as well was very solid. But I think they do have a goalkeeping crisis.
Right.
They really have to get a goalkeeper in January.
There you
June,
go.
I mean to say.
Thank you so much,
Thank you very
to
much.
Lindo. There we are. We've been here for a minute now. Well done to Kaizer Chiefs. They move on to the next round. But of course, the talking point will be the decision. And I suppose you don't need to ask any fan about it. Depending on which team they support, you already know what their opinion is. And that's very useless. It's a waste of time, really, to engage people we'll see things based on which glasses and the color of glasses that they're wearing. It's either a thing is right or wrong, one way or another. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, also splitting.
Boom.
For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Hola bafethu, this is Junior Kanye. Please subscribe to iDiski TV.
Hola bafethu, bongani bobomnisi bafethu, ngicela subscribe ku iDiski TV.